So my wife's in Florida at a tennis tournament, and she gave me a text this morning. She said, "Kick ass, Bob." And I wrote back to her, "Oh my. This is much bigger than I thought it was going to be." But thank you very much for coming. I guess I want to ask the dignitaries. There are a bunch of people who serve the town, and I don't want to miss anybody, so select board, school committee, candidates for those positions, please stand up, and at least we won't miss you, okay? So who's here? We got... Okay, there's a lot of people in this room that I really love, including my grandchildren, my children. I'm going to give a special shout out to James Cradle and Tony Cradle, who are my dear, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks for being here. It's a beautiful day, and I appreciate that you're here. And I also want to shout out to my crazy campaign team. They are crazy, and they got me going in all this stuff. So I got Ben Kelly. Where are you, Ben? Please stand up. Lauren Bernard. And my treasurer, Beth Gilligan. Thank you. Okay, so one of the reasons I'm running for school committee is it's going to be my personal expression of resistance to the denigration and decimation of our public services and public servants. This is personal for me and my family. My sister, the brilliant Ellen Weintraub, and former chair of the Federal Elections Commission, was fired because she was a critic of Trump. Tip O'Neill said all politics is local. I want my progressive voice in the public square. I want to be in the room where it's happening, which is in the James Walsh School Committee room on the 5th floor of Town Hall. I'm a unique candidate for school committee. For almost 40 years, I've been working in the trenches of our public schools. I actually know a lot. When I watch the school committee meetings on Big, the local TV station, I always want to jump in and join the conversation. Vote for me, and I will join the conversation. As you all know, we have challenges in Brookline Public Schools. We have a fiscal challenge. We have a challenge to reverse the revolving door of leadership in our system, and I believe we need to find our academic center of gravity. I have many years of experience in each of these areas. So I managed a budget of over $30 million at Brookline High with a deep commitment to the teachers, to the paraprofessionals, to the counselors, to the social workers, to the custodians, to the cafeteria workers, to the secretaries, and the school leaders in the schoolhouse where teaching and caring for our kids happens. I also sat on the superintendent's senior cabinet where most of the fiscal decisions for the system were decided. Along with the alumni and members of our community, back in the day we launched the Brookline High School 21st Century Fund. We raised almost $10 million. So I know a little bit about money. We raised about $10 million over those years to support innovative programs like Adrian Mims's Calculus Project, the African American Latino Scholars Program, the Brookline High School Tutorial, Teachers Mentoring Teachers. All of these programs were created about 20 years ago. They're still here, and they're still thriving. So I'm proud of that. So when we experienced a serious, significant fiscal crisis early in my tenure at Brookline High School, I worked with the legendary superintendent of schools, James Walsh, and we decided to get into good trouble. We proposed a transformation of our administrative structure, changing the 60-year-old expensive house system to a slimmed-down dean structure. 4 housemasters, 4 house teachers, 4 secretaries, to 2 deans, 1 associate dean. That associate dean is James Cradle. He's sitting right there. And 2 secretaries. We saved about $500,000 when $500,000 was real money. We also required every administrator in the school, including me, to teach at least 1 class, saving an additional $200,000. We cut no teachers, and the kids continued to be well served. Regarding the academic center of gravity, Adrian talked a little bit about this, but I want to talk about United States History AP. Historically, when I showed up at Brookline High, we had about 47, 48 kids every year in advanced placement U.S. history. I thought that was far too few kids for that class. So, with our administrative team, we decided to get into some more good trouble, and we eliminated the barriers to enroll in AP courses. I couldn't complete some of the forms required to get into an AP class at Brookline High. I'm not kidding, really. We asked the teachers to embrace this mantra. This is important, you can do this, and we're going to help you. For the kids who some people thought maybe weren't qualified to be in an advanced placement class. Some of the department chairs believed that we were diluting and destroying the academic power of our AP courses. So here's some data that Adrian did refer to, but not in U.S. history, more in math. So when 47, 48 kids were taking U.S. history AP, and they took the AP test at the end of the year, the average score was 4.2. Soon after we changed those enrollment regulations, rules to get into the classes, we had 125 students in U.S. history AP, from 47, 48 to 125. Keep in mind that the number 4.2 was the average number on the AP test when they were 47, 48 kids. With 125 kids taking the test, the average score was 4.3. That's about the academic center of gravity of a school. Okay. Finally, by the way, I talked to Anthony Meyer, who's the principal of the high school yesterday, and I asked him how many kids were in U.S. history AP. 151. 47, 48, 125, 151. Challenging those kids at the highest level. Good work. Finally, the world of hiring and retention of faculty and leaders. Hey, I hired Paul Epstein. I hired Adrian Mims. I hired Lisa Redding. I hired Anthony Meyer. I hired Hal Mason. I hired a lot of people. And most of those people remained at Brookline High School in our school system for many, many years. With that stability, you can build a strong and dynamic organization. With that stability, you can build a strong family. The most important responsibility of the school committee is to hire, supervise, and evaluate the superintendent. I have hired, supervised, and evaluated hundreds of people. It's not about an annual performance review. It's about daily interactions between the supervisor and the supervisee. I know how to do that, and as member of a school committee, I will do that. Finally, over many years, I listened to many parents concerned about their kids. It's tough to raise teenagers. They were concerned about bad friends, drugs and alcohol, a pathetic academic work ethic. I listened carefully, did what I could to help, but often what I would say to parents is, they're not done yet. They're not done yet. And those words were kind of prophetic because later on, they righted their own ship and they became responsible adults, successful. And so they weren't done yet. So today, I'm speaking to you in the magnificent Brookline Teen Center created by the legendary Paul Epstein. And today, I am saying to you, Brookline, I am not done yet. I was hoping that was an applause line. So I want to thank you for coming, thank you for listening, and thank you for considering me as you cast a very, very important ballot vote for the Brookline School Committee. And now it is my great honor to introduce, to conclude this program, the amazing Paul Epstein.